A-Meenah, a strength within, is a brand name for a woman that is able to acknowledge the strength she carries within her. And this strength was able to come to life out of the fact that she had to let go of a marriage of 7 to 8 years. And because she has actually used every ounce of her living to nurture this marriage, she feels like nothing exists in a world again. And because of that, she needs a closure. And not just a closure from external validation, but closure within her. So she decided to build a plan by writing her first ebook, which is The Independent Woman. Yeah, that is actually where the whole story started from. The Independent Woman is a book I actually wanted to write at the beginning of my journey of understanding the reason that women can also be whole within themselves, not because they don't want to be submissive, but because they need to be a whole before they can actually take part in anything that requires that full attention in life. And I figured that independency is not just about money. It's about the powers you are able to build as regards to your time. It's about the relationships you are able to build as regards to your marriage. It's about the generations you are able to build as regards to nurturing your children. And it shouldn't be under somebody else's influence. It should be coming from the point where you understand that you need to have a whole life within you as well. And I started writing the ebook then, and subsequently, I began to have the idea of so many other ebooks. And by so doing, I've been able to create some digital products, alhamdulillah, and even some masterclass, and even create this online space. So, this video it is about a book I actually had 3 years ago to write, which I have created the draft copy. And I have also created a lot of extension books out of that one single idea. And I'm willing to share the story here. On today's video, we're going to be talking about being independent as a woman. Independence is not just about your finance alone, but about your emotions, your mental, your physical life, and your environment as a whole. Independence is not just about money. It is not just about you waiting or counting the amount of money you have in your account. It is about a woman becoming a whole, being able to stand emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially on your own. Independence is not about pride. It is you understanding that when you need help, you can actually seek for help. But when you don't need the attention of others, why don't you dwell on your own possibilities to bring those things to life? Let me tell you something that no one says out loud. Depending on people for everything will drain your peace. And at the same time, when you are trying to prove to people that you don't need anyone will eventually drain your soul. True independence is maintaining the balance, learning to be a whole on your own, and you are still connected to others. It is a matter of becoming your own woman, just like I shared in my previous video. And the reality is that being independent is not about doing it all alone. It is about building the kind of life where you can, if you have to, without the help or permission of others. I'm going to be breaking this video down into 4 to 5 sections. The first one is why women struggle with independence, which I actually talked about in one of my videos, Becoming Your Own Woman. Why women are living on autopilot, not to even move an inch to become a better version of herself. I'm also going to be talking about what independence truly means, which is a core section in that ebook. And I'm also going to be talking about the transformation foundation, walking you through the steps of how you can actually become independent. Then I'm going to be talking about what independency actually looks like. The very first thing I got to realize is that we women struggle to pursue the path of independence because number one, there is something called cultural conditioning. And I talked massively about this in one of my videos mindsets you need to have or mindset shift and renewal to become a better version of yourself. There are three main notions that affect the belief system. That is the culture, the society, and the religion. we are bound to follow the norms and standards of the society. And because the culture has painted it to be a bad thing, many women were raised to believe that their worth is tied to who they marry or the kind of children they have or who provides for them. Independency feels unfeminine to most people in society, even in the world we live in today. And that is one lie the society has actually fed us with. And the second thing is the fear of responsibility. Women always feel that independence means they are going to be the one to do everything on their own, or they are going to be so lonely, or they are going to struggle to attain the life they are actually trying to build. But independency is actually peace through preparation. You understand that you want this kind of life, but you also need to understand that you are going to be working to get that kind of life. And the third reason why women struggle with independence is lack of self belief. And I talked about this in the video as well. Most of we women, we would be far gone by now if we are able to believe in ourselves that we can do better. Because that growth you are looking for starts the moment when you begin to believe in yourself. When you don't trust yourself, when you don't believe in your capabilities, you won't believe you can build that life. You won't be able to achieve that life you have always aspired to build. And with this concept, most of we women struggle to become independent. Now, what does independence truly mean? Independence is multidimensional, and I was able to paint it black when I was writing that it is not just about not seeking the help of others, but you understand that you can actually be a whole without somebody else's influence. Independence fall under different sections and category. And remember, I talked about that in the introductory part of this video. That independence depends on how you want it to be or what you perceive independence to be. So the subdivisions I have learned that independence follow is one, emotional independence. You are able to manage your emotions without projecting them or seeking constant reassurance. When you say yes, you are standing firm on it that you are certain you are not being pushed or you are not being triggered by something or someone. Mental independence is also about when you are able to think critically, make decisions, and hold on to your own opinion. Financial independence is when you are able to meet your needs and you are able to make choices without being controlled by money. I want you to notice that some of the choices we make is actually a factor, is actually a yardstick that our finances are not actually in place. We make most of these decisions because most of us are not financially stable. We are not emotionally stable. We are not mentally stable. And independence also cuts across our spiritual life. You have your own relationship with God, not based on other people's approval. I usually look at people that would go to imams, go to pastors, soothsayers that pray for me, but you know that we are actually closer to God than we actually think we are when we are able to understand this concept. You don't necessarily need the intervention of others before you can actually communicate to your Creator. He created you, so why do you think you need a barrier that would help you communicate to your Creator? I am not here to preach the religion, but I am stating the obvious. And independency also deals with the society. The reason why most of us are navigating on the path we are now is because we are expecting the society to choose for us. We have not been able to break out of that shackle because we don't trust our intuition enough. A woman who is independent in all areas isn't arrogant. She is actually free. And that is one thing I keep painting over and over again. Independency is not about arrogance, it is about freedom. Now, how do you actually become independent? And what are the steps that can actually help you to embark on this journey of independency? The first one that is very important is to know who you are. Knowing who you are is like giving yourself a life audit because you can't heal what you refuse to see. Define your values. What kind of person do you want to become? What kind of liberty, what kind of freedom, what kind of life, what kind of pattern do you want to have. Understand your strength and accept your weakness. Not just accept your weakness to settle, but you accept your weakness to rebuild to become a better version of yourself. Stop living by borrowed definition. You need to be able to match up to your own definition of you. What is your own perception of you? And the second thing that is very important is to build your emotional stability. Independency is the journey of the strongest in terms of your emotion. You won't be able to get there when you don't acknowledge the kind of emotional vulnerability you carry. Don't let emotion saddle or control your choices. Learn to respond, not to react, and stop expecting people to fix your mood or fill the void. Most of us are always waiting on people, on something, or on someone to help us become better or to help us answer questions that we could have approached with our own thinking. You need to develop your own self soothing habits. When you are not happy, when you are not okay, be able to find something to do to bring you back to life again. You can journal, you can pray, you can walk, you can read, you can even breathe before you even respond to anything. And the third thing is to develop your financial confidence. Money might not be the most important thing, but it affects everything that is important. Like I mentioned earlier, money can be a factor why you are still choosing those things you keep choosing. And the more you keep walking in that circle, the harder it gets for you to become a better version of yourself. Independency begins the moment you stop waiting to be rescued financially. You should begin to take responsibility of your finances. Learn basic budgeting, saving, and income generation skills. Personally, I am decided that this year I am going to start saving 5,000 naira from my salary till the end of December. Then 2027, as little as the money is, I am going to start my investment journey. As I invest that money by 2027, I start saving another 10,000 naira by 2027. By the end of 2027, I would have that what I already have on ground. As small as it is, you have to be able to start small. Sell your skill if probably you don't even have anything to bring in money. Multiply your stream of income and find other ways that you can begin to earn more money. Because a woman that is in charge of her finances will do a whole lot of good in or on her independency journey. The fourth step you need to take, which is very important, is to strengthen your relationship with God. I am not a fan of not recognizing the presence of the Creator, and I am also not here to preach religion to you. But I want you to understand that spiritual guidance and independence is not rebellion. It is a connection. Imagine the kind of life you would have built when you know that your creator is watching your back and there is nothing you want to bring to life that is not possible as long as he is standing there by your side. And you will also be able to understand when plans does not happen the way you planned it. You will have that relaxation that something better is actually coming if I'm able to relax and watch. Learn to pray from sincerity, not fear. Find your own faith reading and also find a way to communicate your needs personally, not looking for a barrier. Whenever you feel lost or disconnected, ask for the guidance in your decisions and watch how supernatural will open way for you. And the fifth step, which is important for you to embark on the independence journey, is to cultivate mental independence. Stop letting others think for you. It's just like when you are boarding a public transport. Please inculcate the habit of thinking for yourself. Stop letting others decide for you. And if you feel what you are thinking about is something very big, make positive impact research from people that have actually walked that path, not the other way round. Read more, question more from the right source, and learn to stand by your own belief, even if you stand alone. Seek wisdom, not just opinion. And the sixth step is to build healthy independence. Being independent doesn't mean isolation. You still need a community, the right community that would hold your hands whenever you feel unstable or you feel challenged or threatened by the decisions you're taking. And the community I mentioned is one of the reasons why I built A-Meenah, our strength within channel, to bring women like you and I together so we can be accountable and become better version of ourselves. Also learn to receive help without guilt and give yourself without losing yourself. Because you have been in a relationship that was tormenting, that was draining, does not mean you can't be vulnerable again. The more you get exposed to people, the better you begin to understand and be aware of how to manage yourself when subsequent issues arise. And also, the seventh step is to create a life that supports you. Independence is sustained by structure. Organize your finances, set goals that align with your purpose. Build routines that nurture your health and purpose. That is because every single thing we are trying to create here has to be aligned with the kind of woman that we want to build. A woman who creates order in her life does not chase stability. She becomes it. When your life is organized, when your routines are balanced, when you know what you're doing the next day, you will definitely find stability and you become the stability itself. Now, when it comes to building independency, it can come in different level for different women. This can be applicable if you are a single mother. Independency doesn't mean struggle. In fact, it means you are taking control of your resources, your time, your emotions while asking for help wisely. I am a single mother and I can still tell to her that you can still chase independency when you are a single mother or if you are a single mother. But that does not mean you're not going to be seeking help when it is necessary. It is also applicable when you are married. Independence doesn't threaten your union, it strengthens it. When you are a whole, you bring peace, not pressure. A sane mind, a sane woman can only nurture a sane family. And it can also be applicable when you are rebuilding your life. You can start small, one decision, one skill, one step at a time, and everything eventually begins to compound. When you are able to attain the level of independence, there is actually a reward that marks the significance of walking through that path. When you become independent, you attract respect. You walk lighter, no silent resentment, no fear or abandonment. You choose relationship out of love, not survival, and you become peaceful, wise, and grounded. I can tell to act that independence is a pathway that every woman needs to build. And by the time you realize that you are walking without the validation of others, then you can actually say you are becoming the woman you are intentional about. One thing you should understand is that whatever you are doing to become independent needs to be done continuously and you need to give it the time it's required. And most times, when you fall short of your decision, you can always come back to recommit to the show. And being independent as a woman is not rebellion, it is an act of self respect. When I have the whole booklet done, I am going to be linking this video and also serve as a reminder that this is what independence looks like. And I hope you're going to be ready when the book is ready for sale. And I'm going to be seeing you in my next one. Bye.